Hello and thanks for joining me for another review, this time for the 900 Global Altered Reality. This was a highly anticipated release for those that were a big fan of the Volatility Torque when it was discontinued because it was going to feature the same S84 Response Pearl cover stock. I gotta be honest, I haven't been able to throw my Reality a whole lot, so I didn't really know what to expect out of this ball, and holy cow did it hook a bunch. This is my standard pin down layout. I did actually order two of these, so I will be doing a pin up versus pin down video shortly, so keep an eye out for that. And right off the bat, this ball was just a monster. It dug, it hit the mids, it hooked everywhere. These first handful of shots or so, I was actually using a weaker hand position because if I tried to catch it like normal, I could not get it to clear the mids. This is really the first mid-laning Pearl ASIM ball that I've drilled that I can remember. Balls like the RSTX2, the Rotogrip Rubicon UC2 are so clean and far down the lane that I really couldn't get them to bang in the mid lane and use them on fresh. They were definitely two balls or transition pieces. And right off the bat, I was really excited to see that this cover stock is not like anything else that I've got in my bag as far as Pearl asymmetrics go. You can see just how much it wants to hook in the mid lane and really dig in and go. I love this out of a big Pearl ASIM ball because I don't have to try to shape it the right way or wait on the friction. I can start with them and really get them to pick up and go and not have to do anything special. This type of ball sort of allows me to loosen up and just sort of settle in and throw it and not have to worry about catching it a bunch or making it hook or see the friction. Like I said, the original Reality isn't one that I've gotten to put a lot of games on. It's not something that I can really use in League because of how much surface it is and how early and strong that cover stock is. I'm pleasantly surprised right off the bat to see how I can get this one to clear the first 15 feet really well, and thereby how much use I'm going to be able to get out of it on the house shot. Pin down Pearl asymmetrics for me get a lot of use in League on the fresh because I can get them to slow down a little bit, where I can get them to play the mids and get some room to miss, and they give me a little more off the spot than symmetric stuff, so I get that extra hit or two a game. My go-to pin down Pearl asymmetric this last month or two has been a UC2. That cover is fairly clean, so if I can't get it to bite in the right spot, I have to bag it because I just can't get the ball to slow down if there's not some friction out there. What's so exciting about the Altered Reality is it doesn't look like it needs a lot of friction. This video was filmed on a fresh house shot, and I could really get into like 23, 24 and still get it to slow down and pick up in the right spot. And not only that, but when it faced up, it went through the pins absolutely crazy. Sometimes these Pearl balls get far down the lane and I barely cut the 10 out, or I get all these light mixer hits, and this one just absolutely trucks them 4 out of 5 shots. It does all the right things whenever it gets to the pins. If it's a little sharp and quick, it still is clean enough to knock the 4 down whenever I go high. And if I get it a little wide, it's dynamic enough to still pick up and carry the light hit. Overall, a Pearl asymmetric ball that I can throw on the fresh is something that I'm really excited about because I don't have to try to make something dull carry. And I don't have to try to make something Pearl that's really clean pick up in the right spot. As far as hook potential goes, this might be at the top of my bag or really close. I can probably get a Proton Physics to out hook this ball, and that's a solid. Other than that, this is probably going to be the top of my bag as far as total hook potential. After throwing this ball, I really struggled to figure out what to compare it to because there's not really anything in the current SPI family that's even close. I ended up deciding on the Dark Code because it's the strongest Pearl asymmetric ball that I had in my bag prior to this, although when we get into the comparison you can see it's not even close front to back. The Altered Reality hits the mids a lot harder and seems to be able to handle a lot more oil. As I inched left with the Altered Reality, I was amazed that it still managed to slow down in the right spot and corner. Whenever I get really steep or really open up my angles with these Pearl asymmetric balls, or really any asymmetric ball, I really have a hard time getting it to face up properly because my tilt's pretty low. And this ball did everything right. I scattered the light hits, I stuffed the big hits and was able to trip the 4 out. Getting into the comparison a little bit here, you saw that last shot with the Dark Code, it was pretty sharp. The Altered Reality is much smoother than the Dark Code and much earlier, so front to back it's stronger and covers more board, but it doesn't get down the lane and make that big angular shape quite as much. During this comparison, I just tried to sort of gradually move in so you could really see how the Altered Reality digs and blends out the middle part of the lane. This blendiness is super unique in my bag. None of my other Pearl asymmetric balls like the UC2 or the RSTX2 or the Dark Code are this blendy front to back and blend out the middle part of the lane this way. The Altered Reality is very strong, very smooth, and very continuous, and really easy to get through the first 15 feet of the lane. You really see in these comparison shots the angularity of the Dark Code compared to the continuous rolly shape that the altered reality creates. This is going to be the first ball out of my bag unless the conditions just really demand something with a solid cover or some more surface. This one with the lower pin, I think, wants to read the mid lanes better than a lot of other pearl stuff that I have, period, symmetric or asymmetric. Once again, I will have a pin up versus pin down video coming out soon with this ball, so you will see the differences. I think the pin up one will be a great transition piece once the pin down one gets to be a little earlier, starts to hit a little flat. If you like your RSTX2 or your Rubicon UC2, but you think they get a little far down the lane to be able to start with, and you can't quite get that solid ball that you want to start with above those to shape the right way, this is an absolute great piece to fill that spot above your other Pearl ASIM stuff that you have that may have a little bit milder core or a little bit weaker cover stock overall. This ball really impressed me in the review today and in the comparison to the Dark Code. If you like what you see here and you think this has a spot in your bag, the worldwide release date is December 10th, 2021. Come see me at Millennium Bowling Supply to pre-order yours today. If you like these videos and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I have a review video for the new 900 Global Wolverine out as well. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.